Okay. Well, hello, sir. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
You
Well,
doing?
my name is Victoria, and I would like to interview you about your experience in the U.S. and how you got here and everything.
All right.
This out, okay. So, what's your name?
My name is Ochia Kingsley.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Kinsley.
Nice to meet you.
And when were you born?
I was born August 25th, 1990.
1990. That's good. Are you married?
No.
No. Okay. Do you have any children?
No.
You know, I just have to ask the question because I'm trying to get to know you, stuff like that. Are you working right now?
Yes.
Occupation?
I mean, I did work, but right now I'm not working.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you did work, where did you work?
I worked for the MLK Center and the purchasing department.
Okay. All right. So where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Nigeria, Enugu State precisely.
Okay. So when did you move to the United States?
I moved to the United States on August 19th, 2010.
Nice. So was there a reason why you moved to the United States?
Yeah, I moved here in pursuit of my academic endeavor. So.
Okay. Educational purposes, that's good. Where did you stay at first when you got to the United States?
I flew into JFK and to Philadelphia airport and found myself straight to Mansfield. So I've always been in Mansfield since I arrived in the United States.
Okay, that's good. Can you describe to me your social life when you were in Nigeria and then when you came here to the U.S.?
Yeah. Compared to how my social life is now, of course, there are changes. Back home, I had the support that are visible. I mean, now I still have the support, but you know, it's always different when your family is there, so it impacts your social life. But yeah, I was in college, I was living the college life. I had always stayed away from home, so I had lots of friends, but I was never home. And when I came here, it was different because certain norms and traditions are very different here. Just like when you go to someone and whisper in their ears, you're being seen as a creepy person. But back home, it was a sign of endearment. It was a sign of like trying to conceal what you're saying so that a third party doesn't hear about it.
Right.
And the different handshakes, and here is just very straightforward. Back home, you know, you had little mumbo jumbo added to it and all those things.
You have different kind of things that people understand differently.
Right. And here too, you know, I think people here is just cut a nail. Is either is white or is black. Whereas when it comes to social life, they should try to incorporate what the sender is trying to send and not how they perceive it. But that's the way it is here. So,
right.
My social life here is fine. I think it has earned me a lot of things that I never thought I would have had it been not for my social activities and, you know, involvement. So I think I'm in a good standing.
So do you believe that your social life here is better than the one that you had back home?
I definitely I've made improvements. I mean, I can directly relate to how it had. I mean, I can't say it is better or is worse, but of course there are changes I've made, and I mean I can actually say in certain things I've improved in a good way.
Okay.
So there are certain things I did back home I am no longer doing here, and certain things I never did there, but I'm now doing here. So it's more or less discovering myself and adding value to it.
Okay. So I would like to ask you a question that I'm also an immigrant, you know, coming to the U.S. and I experienced certain things when I got here. So I don't know about your experience. Did you, you know, experience discrimination when you got here? In any way, shape, or form?
I mean, yes, in a way, because...
If so, how?
You know, there's racism everywhere.
Right.
And it's something I particularly might not be willing to like let now, because I don't know how it might jeopardize me at some point. But the truth about the whole thing is I have, but not as much as I had expected. You know, I thought when I got here it was just white one side, black one side, or colored and non-colored. There's going to be a distinctive demarcation between the two, but I think somehow it has submerged, so it's missable in a way, even though there is still that racial contrast. You know, there are certain things you will do and then they will say of course he's black. And particularly my country not having a good reputation in so many ways because of like most of the frustrated and desperate boys are doing online. There's certain acts you pull and stunts you pull and they're like of course he's Nigerian. And I think that's racist, but it doesn't affect me because I know I'm different. I particularly am not those people who they are referring to, so I don't let that bring me down.
So before you came here, was it a reason why you felt that black was going to be on one side and white was going to be on one side? Yeah,
because I mean I've heard a lot of I had friends who were here before me. I have friends who came here and went back and forth, and all they talked about was like the random searching at the airport, how they single out somebody supposedly colored and then they term it random searching, but then the random searching never ends up with somebody who is non-colored, you know. And so many other racial terms they have, you know, made me, some of their racial terms made me to believe that it's going to be a distinction between colored and non-colored.
Okay. So, tell me, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I do have 4 sisters and a brother.
4 sisters and a brother?
Yes.
Okay, so you have 5 siblings?
Yes.
Do you have plans to go back to visit your country? If so, why?
Of course I do have plans. I miss my family for one. So, I mean, it's hard. Been here 2 years plus, not seeing them, only talk on the phone. And it's not like they have internet access to Skype or Google Me. So, I basically saw my parents last on the 19th of August, and I saw my siblings last on the 19th of June. So that's a very long time now. I do miss them, so that's my motive for going home. Then another thing is, I think if I acquire all this education here and then cultivate it here, I'm not developing my own country. I'm not living up to my dreams. So in other words, I'm saying that having acquired what I came here to achieve, I'm going to take it back home, develop my underdeveloped country. A lot of things are going on there, so we are believed to be the leaders of tomorrow. I, for one, I don't know about every other person there, but I, for one, I believe I'm the leader of tomorrow. I'm the messiah of that country. So the least I can do is take back what I've learned to make it happen in there. So
basically you're here to get education and go back and build up your country.
Definitely.
So do you have like a lot of your families in Nigeria?
I am the only person actually from my family here.
That are here.
So 99.9% of my family members are in Nigeria.
Okay. So is visiting your country, Nigeria, I say if you wanted to go back, is it like financial accessible at the time?
Right now it's financially inaccessible, but that doesn't mean it can happen.
Right.
So I mean a flight ticket back home is about $3,800.
Because I know it's very expensive to go back.
And when you get back home, people are, of course, expecting you to bring something because they believe you're from USA. And you should have all the money. They believe as soon as you get down from the plane, they give you a key to an apartment, a key to a house, and then a money bag.
Right.
Just go ahead and spend. But they don't know it isn't that way.
Sure.
So right now, I intend to go in December 2013. So I've started saving, trying to get some paid internships, and I opened series of savings accounts and see how far I can go with that.
Right. So, how does your culture in Nigeria differ from the culture here in
so
the
many
US? Enlighten me.
In a lot of ways. When I was back home, I was in college. I took shower with my roommate in the same bathroom.
A guy.
Okay.
And
there was basically nothing wrong with that, you know. But here, I even watch when I say that because they'll be like, you have some gay tendencies in you know.
I know.
So that's as funny as it is, it's true, you know. when I was in high school, I went to military school, so we usually wake up at 5:45. We actually, the rise up bell goes up at 4:30 a.m. and then by 5:45, everybody, like, you were supposed to jog 8 miles in the morning and then come back and get dressed. And most kids here don't even know that, so I think it's a major difference too. And you know, things were done communally. Like here, back home, I sit and I eat with my family in one table, and like with our bare hands, all from the same bowl. I think that brings, it's a way of like uniting. Yes. So if one person is out, you can actually feel the impact, especially on the food,
the emptiness.
Because then it takes longer to finish. You know.
Right.
But here, when you talk about eating with your hands, people are like, that's so untalked about and should be avoided, and there's so many germs in your hands, forgetting that, I mean, culture is culture regardless. If you've been doing that all along, you're not just gonna die overnight. You know. And just sometimes how you speak and how you think, you know, it makes people wonder, like, really, you're very different. Because sometimes when I pass judgments, they're like, how did you arrive at that? But it's very straightforward. Whereas I've heard people talk here, I mean, I'm not saying this to make them feel bad in any way, but with certain things they say, you wonder where their sense actually is.
Right.
You know, and I've come to see, like, here how children and parents, how they relate. In my father's house, I will not get mad and walk up to my room and tell my dad, don't open my door. I need my privacy. Boy, you better get your ass out of that house if you know. Excuse my language, but
it's excuse.
You know, my father can't tell you something and then you're like, oh, I'm mad, I'm leaving your house. Well, walk along, you know, because you know at the end of the day you're going to be the one coming back and asking. When I did something wrong, I got my ass whooped. I got spanked. Like,
doesn't matter whether you're grown or not.
Yeah, but here they worry so much about how many marks he leaves on the child and how many candies you're going to buy to please the child. For, you know, you're not actually beating the child, you're beating the bad habit out of them. That was how I was raised. But here, you know, it's a different ball game. You call your mom names and you call your father names, and a very outstanding one is my professors. Back home, I was taught to call my professors my professors, or Mr. their last name,
right, or Mrs.
And if they have any qualifications, you say it.
Right.
Say it's Dr. Andrew Barnabas, and Barnabas is the last name. You say Dr. Barnabas. You never say Andrew in class. That's better. He can walk you out of the class. And for no reason will you test in class. If your professor is there, he can seize your phone and smash it, and you can't do anything. But here, everything is about lawsuit. You call your professor by name and they wink at you. It's a lawsuit, sexual harassment. You know, so many things I just see should go by, but I guess everybody here is just looking for a way to live off of somebody. Somebody has to be blamed for something, but it shouldn't be that way. So my culture in every way is mathematically correct in 200%, is completely very different from the United States culture. But thank God I've learned to live by the United States culture, because it says when you come to Rome, behave like the Romans.
Exactly.
So that doesn't mean if I go back home, I still wouldn't uphold my culture. So.
Okay. Do you miss anything about the food, the clothes, music?
I miss everything.
About your culture?
I just miss everything you talked about right now. Ranging from the food to the clothes. I wore flower clothes at home. It had no hidden meaning to it. Here, when you wear flower clothes, people are like, oh, watch out, you know. And basically, if I'm not eating mashed potato, I'm eating turkey and some sauce, or you're eating some type of burger, or in fact I actually stopped certain food because I got tired of eating them. Back home you had varieties.
Thank you.
You make food fresh from the farm. You had everything you wanted. You have it there in the farm, so it's just go get, prepare, and it's going to taste so nice. I mean, it's probably American food is probably not tasting nice to me because I wasn't raised eating that food.
True.
So it's not like I'm complaining about it. But then I don't like it because personally I've lived to eating
fresh
Nigerian food for like 20 years plus. Now, I mean, the little opportunity I get, I still order foods from back home, like the raw foods, and it gets here. I still prepare the meals myself, and at some point feel at home, like to a certain degree, not as much as I would have been satisfied if I was eating it. So I do miss the food, I do miss the clothing, I do miss the language, I do miss the friends around, I do miss the support team. So I miss everything about home, but I know why I'm here. So.
But the bigger question is, do you miss the weather? Because I know it's extremely cold here, and I know I do miss the weather.
In Nigeria, it's hot. Yeah, we have two weathers, even though they say it's rainy season and dry season, but I see it as hot and hotter. So, and it's basically, there is no humidity. Like, the sun is shining, the wind is blowing, you can wear whatever you want to and feel very calm. Even when it's raining, it should be cold, but it's not. It's raining, you are very free to wear whatever and feel very comfortable in it. You know, when I was coming here, they told me to buy jacket because it's usually cold here. I bought the Nigerian jacket, the one that has perforations, and you feel very warm. And when I came here, the wind in JFK blew me. I'm like, wow.
I know.
So, but I do miss the weather. It's such a dependable weather. You can go out and at least expecting that even if it's going to get bad, it will not be as bad as it could get here.
Right.
No.
Right.
No natural disasters.
Right. I know. Well, do you plan on, staying in the United States, like making the United States like permanent? Like your permanent place, resident?
Honestly, I'm not looking for any form of permanency here. I mean, I don't have a girlfriend now, which if eventually it turns into something else, which we are both praying for, we could find a balance between Nigeria and here. But my main aim is graduate, get my working experience, get enough experience to develop my country, go back and develop my country. That's all I care about now. And I know my family miss me. I'm the firstborn. Every responsibility lies in my shoulder. So the earlier and the sooner I start taking responsibilities, the better, and the sooner I'll start relieving them off of me.
So tell me more about your family, and at the time that you moved here, that you migrated to the United States, how your family doing?
I come from what is termed middle class in Nigeria, because my dad is a college teacher and a high school principal. My mom is a middle school headmistress. So they are basically teachers. I come from a family of educators. And my younger brother is in the seminary school. He wants to be a Roman Catholic priest. I have a sister too who wants to be a nun. So the other three are options for marriage.
What about you?
I'm one of the options for marriage.
Okay.
So, yes, but as of the time I left my siblings, they were fine, and I'm sure they are still fine because I even talked to them yesterday. We used to talk every day, but since I moved to SEA campus, work has been hectic, so we talk now once every 2 weeks. I try not to miss that every Sunday by 3 p.m.
Okay.
So, yes, but they are doing fine. My parents are doing fine. We had some financial issues. Thank God it's all coming to resolution, but besides that, God has been wonderful.
Is there anything else you would like to tell me? About yourself, about your family, your culture, anything?
Okay, I was born on a Sunday.
Okay.
I'm taller than my mom. My father is taller than me.
Okay.
What else would you like to know? If you've not noticed by now, I have a very thick accent.
Yeah.
Which
the pretty one.
Which tends to be a problem because I intend to be a healthcare practitioner someday, and most people listen to how I say things and not what I say, and it gets me infuriated. But then I still know that patience is the key.
It'll get better. Trust me, I've been there.
Hopefully, it will get better someday. I mean, I'm not praying to lose my accent, God forbid.
You have to keep a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am very dedicated to my work, and I am I'm very hardworking. And what more could I say about myself? Absolutely not. I mean, if you know me personally, everything is just self-explanatory. I have no skeletons in my cupboard. So
that's good. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was very nice interviewing you today.
The pleasure is
and
mine.
I hope to share it with my professors, and hopefully something good will come out of it. So
Please do.
thank you so much, and I'll see you later.
All right. Thank you.